got a hamstring it up now because I'm live on TV and everything. I really don't know. I just, there's so much to talk about, you know what I'm saying? I was thinking, which I know, a lot of you people really think I'm really kind of, not you people, I didn't mean to use that phrase. I wasn't referring to anything. You the people. To free my soul. By the way, I will never understand the term soul. And this is S-O-L-E. That's the type for me. I don't get it, man. S-U-O-L. I don't understand that the word whatsoever. I know there's a spirit. I know there's a soul. I know there's my head. And there's a hole. Anyway. I just don't know what it is. I wish I knew. I don't know. I'm almost too anachronistic. Is that a word? Anachronistic? I don't know if you've experienced it before, but you have a word you learned, and maybe it's like E-X, E, and then after that, it starts to go many letters. It's got like a Y, L-Y at the end. You want to, show your stuff out to everybody, how smart you are. So you say this word, as I did for a long time, and I did not know that this, how to pronounce it. That's what I do. What I did was, I didn't know how to pronounce. There's a certain word in particular, I mispronounced it for a long time, until I was corrected. And I think a lot of people, they learn these words to impress their friends, and then they can't say it. We're trying to be slick with some kind of, the BTS. What's the name of the other guy? He's a big star right now, whatever his name is. There's BTS and there's somebody else. Some guy my age is memorizing these words. If you're trying to memorize some kind of ancient paleontology exhibit, some kind of thing, maybe for like a big bone reptile. I see there's BTS, and then there's what's the other one? I don't know. I memorize something really hip. Not say out loud. No one says I'm going to be hip with the kids, these days, or these months, or these years. These precious seconds that are going by and I'm talking to you. So there's something really intergalactically important, which would be to go out into the world, although I'm in the world. I'm of the world, but not in the world, mentally. I'm kind of of the world in a lot of ways. I'm not really here, man, mentally. Everyone knows that. It's not a big secret, So I had to go through some kind of like really obscure, deep web or deep space computer banking going. John Erickson kind of funny, really funny. Anyway, here's the thing about learning those words. You want to impress somebody, and I dated a woman. No, I can't say the word dated. That would be too kind and too generous. It's not dating, and it wasn't a romance. It started off that way for the first time we met each other, and then it kind of drifted off into this. There's a place in here in Florence. It's called Main Street Grill, and it's in town here. I just said that, didn't I? You go down the street, see the stop sign, and this is West Main. Like where I'm living. You're going, yeah, I know where that town is. Of course, yeah, it's in Florence, which is maybe 14 of them in the United States. And he's white, looks semi-affluent, not really impoverished, but see, he's got an accent of something from Pennsylvania, maybe the Wilkes-Barre area. There's no Wilkes-Barre area in this place. Has no relation to each other whatsoever. This is probably not the driest in Colorado, but it's one of the driest. Anyway, you go down the street, and it's a former, whatever it was, drugstore. I hear all kinds of things. I never really substantiated this in my head. Former drugstore, and then for a while it was a restaurant. I don't know if I should name their name on this show because they live in the area. Everybody knows what it is. Like every town has that kind of thing, you know. But the Main Street Grill was put in there in 2003. I can tell you why. I can remember when it was first open. Well, a guy named Steve used to live here. I know what you're thinking. I went to Walmart one time before Steve and I officially rolled. And he says to me, I go to Walmart, and the lady says to me, she goes, I tell her, she goes, and where's your better half? I thought, okay, Steve and I have been going, hanging out there for several years. You know, he moved out of here finally. No, yeah, right before, before 2004, because I met a younger woman. I knew her for a long time through a certain convenience store he used to hang. Actually, it was almost like Clerks, except that the only difference between Clerks and the real life J&J's down here is that we never had a hockey game on top of the roof, man. That, I wish he had thought of that. I think they would have done it. Yeah, I think Tim and the other, I don't know if I should mention her name because he might be watching this someday, which I can see her eyes right now going, are you mentioning my name here, John? No, that would take that would take a little initiative on her part to even be interested in my life, which never happened anyway. Because one time I almost passed out in her house, not because we were drinking or anything, or smoking much, but diabetic problems. Anyway, my biggest thing is the Main Street Grill. It was a great place to go, and I was going to write a novel about it someday, but I could never capture on paper what it must like to be in real life. I could never get the words down. It's like people who make movies from the top of their head about something they want to see. Maybe someday, you know, the machines and people will become one thing, but I don't know, man. There's this all chemistry, and we don't understand the brain at all anyway. The wiring and everything else, and then the spirituality, if there is such a thing, and soul, like getting back to that again. But the idea of it, you know, the idea that you can, you know, you get this vision of what you want to put down on paper or film, even conversations. A lot of times you're thinking, I could get the right words out of here, and you're thinking, well, you sound like you're just kind of mumbling around, like, you know, Marlon Brando or something. Oh man, Marlon Brando. There'd be a guy to take the silver to see if they can understand his mumbling and put it into translation. Because I got the same problem. People told me for years I mumble a lot. And I probably do. So that's the whole thing. Anyway, my biggest thing is, getting back to Main Street Grill, is I had a fun time there a while. I knew it couldn't last forever. I didn't want to believe that. But it opened in 2003 because my friend Johanna, I call her Joe Mama because she's like a semi-mom to me. Unlike the other one who was my full mother. I don't know if she's art in heaven right now. I saw her after she died. She had big holes in her eyes, and she was like flying around. I thought, okay, can we go into another dream now? But 2003 opened because Joe Mama and I went up to past Westcliff toward Gardner. There's a place called, there's a pass out there. We went up. It was very quiet that day. And your mom would be a little upset. I didn't tell you what she did. Maybe I shouldn't say it. But she helped this one cow get over the cattle guard because it was like kind of lost and everything. And she helped shoot her over the cattle guard because she couldn't get over. And I said, yeah, thanks, your mom. Maybe because of you, maybe some wolves can have a good time tonight. That's been a joke for years, you know, thinking we never went up there again because it maybe my prophecies turned true. Maybe they did. Anyway, I guess what I'm trying to say to you is that I really, you can't even see me, can you? Anyway, that's what I think anyway. Hey man. But I don't know if you want to see me or not, because really, I'm not like my presentation and everything is just off. Oh man, maybe getting back to the whole name of the past. I can't tell you the name of the past. Well, I could tell you. I'm not legally barred from telling you the name of the past, but I cannot remember the name of the past. But if you go, it's right next to the sand dunes, and if you go down this trail from the top of the pass, you actually walk down the sand dunes. I never came up this way from the west, but I did from the east. So that's how you. It's really kind of strange. It really got quiet in there, and no animals around or anything. But the whole thing is, there was on top there's this metal building, something that really like an old Star Trek TV show episode. You go, they beam down to this planet, can't find anybody around. Like a bunch of rusted tin and everything. And I went to the bathroom, in the bathroom, the metal looking porta john or porta potty or something like that. That's what it looked like. So I pooped in there. So maybe, that's 2003, 17 years later. Who knows what's gone on since then? Maybe a poop monster showed up. But the trail was interesting to go down into the let's see the trail. I didn't go on the trail. Back up. I was talking about something really important a few minutes ago. I don't know where it is now. Let's make a point about something really spectacular. And I might have to watch the video again and figure out what it is. I have no idea what it is. One of my biggest, and what was he talking about? Is it like about my sister? No. About my mother? No. That was another conversation I had with myself previously today. Sorry. What was it? I was thinking of something. Back to what I was saying. Something really important. I got to tell you about this year, if you don't mind listening to this. This year I took a lot of hikes with a young man named Tobin and my wonderful nephew who lives in the area. And there's one guy I met. I don't know who he is. I saw him one time. Besides, you know where San Isabel Lake is, south of here. I was there. Wait a minute. I was with the Main Street Grill, wasn't I? Maybe I should reel myself back, okay? The Main Street Grill, does that sound okay? I'll stop with the conversation about my family, whatever the heck that was, and go back to my Main Street Grill story. I should finish that up before I forget. It opened in 2003. There I got off Mosca Pass. It's called Fly in Spanish. Mosca Pass. And so the mom and I went over there. We went over there, man. We went over there, man. That started to sound like Aussie, man. But no, down there by the Main Street Grill. So I knew the two men that opened it, Anthony and Charles, who area right here. People still remember what happened about almost 8 years ago now. I don't want to go into it because of, you have to read about it yourself. They say. I don't know. I have no idea. But opened the place up and really, what can I say about Steve? When he was living here, he and I used to go down to the Main Street Grill. And we would go down there, we would hang out. And there's a few people of us would hang out there. We would eat and drink, and we would be like a potluck supper, because they were fixing the inside. Anthony was pretty good about that kind of stuff. He would listen, he would figure out how to read books and figure out how to do technical. And he was good with cars because of that reason, and other things. He could figure things out, like bricklaying, whatever else was going on, how to make cement, to make different kinds of cement. But we all got together, and we all had a really good time, and we, I don't have any footage of film from that era, but we had a lot of a lot of laughs. And that was good. I won't go into detail how it all opened and everything. Although I think the cook that came in, Julie, she was fantastic food. She can make any. She can make it. She could just really just wow cook incredibly. And she was a friend of Charles's. He says from Utah. I don't know. The myth of that man, what he said. I just have to kind of just okay. I believe or I don't believe or what else is going on. He was a character that belonged in Florence for a while. As did Anthony, and a few other people that I've met throughout the years. But Julie was a superb cook. I never had a bad meal, except for that one time. I had to put that in there, but that wasn't her fault. It was somebody else's. I told that so often now. I actually think that may have happened. But it was really a good experience, and it opened. I think it closed down in 2014. It's been only 6 years ago. No, maybe it was 7 years ago. No. Was it? 2013. No. From 2012. Yeah, because 2012 it closed down, and then 2013 is when the whole thing took place. I don't think it was open when the incident took place here in Florence, which, if you're from Florence, you know what it is anyway, so you don't have to tell you what it was. If you're not, I don't know if I should tell you because, leave you dangling for the next exciting episode. High Chair Johnny talks to the world. Anyway, but I think that the thing that gets me about the business is they got good reviews. People in town like it, even though it looks like a hoity-toity business, which it was kind of in a way, very, very hoity-toity, and I just think personally it was how it was set up and how it was for Florence, Colorado. I never know how to pronounce that word. It's the Colorado. I always had trouble pronouncing it since 1975 when I first uttered that word. 74. But no, the amount of people that went through there and worked in that place, incredible. Amount of waitresses, not the amount of cooks. There were a few times I think Julie was teaching somebody how to cook, but she was always the cook back there. If I remember right. I don't know about toward the end there. That whole thing's kind of murky, the ending of that whole business. But it was open for it was open for 8 years with her cooking. I think it was 1 year that somebody else cooked. And immediately, you could tell it was not the right cook. Immediately, there's no question of it. Man. It was like an experience. I don't know how I explain it. Just riding a Maserati around, and they'll see. So I say, "I've got your car out here." You jump into it. It's like a beat old Beamer or something. I mean, that's all. That's a good illustration. Yeah, Maserati down the Beamer. Man. I ate the food. I thought I'll come out here again maybe once in a while. But it was wow. Yeah, another thing is about the place is that I eat there so often that after a while I start having a tab. I start putting a tab down on food and everything, and I pay at the end of the month. Just incredible amounts of, and I liked eating there. It's just and the thing I have to say, and this has nothing to do with Julie whatsoever. It's my own lack of self-restraint, my lack of discipline when it came to eating. I would sit there and I would eat like these two big buffalo burgers with mayonnaise and mustard, onions, of course, and lettuce. I didn't eat fries very often because I was on the Atkins diet at that point. All beef, no patties, just the lettuce. And I think, and what else I ate with it now, I can't remember. But she would, I'd eat that and I'd drink coffee with cream and sweetener, water, Pepsi, whatever kind of product it was, and coffee. No, tea. I would drink tea with lemon in it and some sweetener. my blood sugars were so astronomically high, man. I never told you about my diabetic thing that happened when I was a diabetic. That was part really scary and part really understandable, man. It was really scary. It really something happened where it was really wow, man. Anyway, but getting back to my eating habits, it was terrible. It was absolutely mind-boggling. I'm still walking around. Of course, there were times when I had blood sugar drops and got really sick and everything. Should have been a warning. You have one of those warnings in life where you think, yeah, I shouldn't be doing this. Probably not good for me. But I got my, I can drink as much as I want, eat as much as I want. And people going, yeah, letting a Constitution or Bible say, the Bible says you shouldn't avoid gluttony. A lot of people in Baptist religions are really overweight and addicted to food and everything. By the way, that's another thing. People tell me about marijuana and everything. They're going, it's evil and evil and evil, but it's really addictive. I'm thinking, you can serve candy bars and soda, but I don't see any protests outside 7-Elevens that my kid's not eating soda and ice cream. You kidding? We have ice cream and cake for our birthdays. Yeah, that's okay for the kids. Overconsumption never causes any kind of diabetes or cavities or hyperactivity. We get the hyperactivity from the sugar. You just give them Ritalin, and they'll take care of them. Someone else already thought of that one already. I can't be the first person to think of that. I hope I'm not the first person to think of that. Because if I am, I'll be very depressed tonight. Thinking all this time, Ritalin, sugar connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. But in the poorhouse too, the one thing about it was, the amount of waitresses and waiters going through there. I probably talked for hours. I could do that. Anybody who knows me said I could talk for hours. But the one thing I know about the let's see, I was talking about the waiters and waitresses is that I'll give you an example. One time, this woman who must have been a stripper, we all thought she was because she's wearing high heels, the waitress. I mean, okay, short skirt, makeup, did the hair up, frou-frou and everything. Possibly being a stripper, possibly. She lasted one shift, never saw her again. One day she must have been on, the lady came in, she must have been on crack or speed, really, honestly, because she was like hyper. She was jumping all over the place. She squatted down like she was a frog at one point, like she was going to take my order, knees on the floor. I had myself going, okay, ma'am. And it's one of those times in life I wish I had written down all these people, because as time goes on, I realize just what you mean to me. And now, da-da-da-dee-dee. No, she, I was warbling there for a minute, wasn't I? She, wish I written down all the names because, not that I'm going to forget a lot of them, but people bring up names before that. Who's that? Thinking, how long, maybe there occasionally. I ate there so much one time that my bill was like, I don't know, I was really high. The bill was, not me. Although when the other guy lived here, the guy I mentioned, that probably maybe will be watching this someday. If you're out watching this, could you contact me? You know where I live. Not you, but the other guy. The other guy I'm saying, but not you. Oh man. Where's my cat? Did she leave? Hey Alice, is she out there? I think she's in the chair right now. Anyway, that's what's going on right now, and I know I'm going to come back to this sometime to maybe you're going to know more about the ministry girl. By the way, I was there. I'm not going to mention anybody. Well, I'll wait for another time about that pizza place. It's been open for a couple of years now. There is, I don't know about certain businesses, why they're open. It kind of befuddles my little mind. And that thing was a couple of years ago when it first opened. There was waitresses in there. I thought they were going to have some. I come out, how you doing? Good. And I'm waiting for some kind of like I don't know what you even call it, admission or some kind of declaration that somebody getting in a fight or screaming, and I thought to myself going, okay. And after a while, I'm thinking, am I? Yeah. I was just thinking, is that the Main Street Grill or the Papa's Pizza? I'm thinking, it took me about maybe 2 minutes to figure out that it could have been either one. Not screaming at the Main Street Grill. It was a little bit different there. And that I observed the waitresses giving each other stink eyes and certain other gestures. I think, not because I'm half man, half woman, but I picked up on some of the signals gone. And certain people that were, John and Calvin Erickson II, half man, half woman. Really? Question mark. Was he factory made? Was he born that way? But, there's certain times when they were really cold to each other. And I could tell by the way they did interact, or they interacted. And I was thinking that was probably one of my favorite things, was to see people, how they work around each other, avoiding each other, especially in a restaurant. Oh, right back. Hello? Oh, hi. Getting busy today, huh? Catching mice once in a while. Chasing other cats off the property. Must be really, yeah. Yeah. There you go, man. Woman, I don't know what you are. I know you're not a trainee. A tranny. A tranny and a trainee. Okay. Anyway. That's just my theory. But and the other thing is I'll be back tomorrow. We'll be back soon. Okay. Oh. You watching now? Take care, guys. I'll see you later. I'll be back tomorrow, okay?